Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's July 30th, 2018. I'm Eric. 10 signs that America is in much worse trouble than we all thought. This comes from Michael Schneider. All right. You may find it difficult to believe some of the things that I'm about to share with you. Instinctively, most of us know that America is in trouble, but recently it has been impressed upon me that things are much worse than I originally believed. Well, where the fuck have you been, Schneider? Our cities are becoming cesspools. Our nation is falling apart all around us, and it seems like the number of sick, twisted, and depraved people is multiplying. We still have a relatively high standard of living for the moment, but the only reason we can maintain that standard of living is because we are on the great debt binge, or the greatest debt binge in human history. And once that bubble bursts, and it will burst, I fear for what this nation is going to become, because things are getting really bad out there. The following are 10 signs that America is in much worse trouble than we all thought. Now, these are the words of Michael Schneider, not me. I'm abundantly aware of how much trouble we're in, but let's continue. America is the most dangerous country in the developed world to give birth in. We all know that our healthcare system is rapidly deteriorating, but I figure that the U.S. would be at least in the middle of the pack when it comes to women dying during childbirth. Sadly, I was completely wrong. And of course, I was not aware that ladies dying during childbirth was still a thing. I knew that sometimes they did, but not nearly as much as the article I read a little while ago on USA Today. Not as much as they reported. Not even close. So this comes from USA Today. The U.S. is the most dangerous country in the developed world to give birth in, according to a report. About 50,000 women are severely injured during childbirth, and about 700 women die every year. Half of these deaths could have been prevented, as could the injuries, if correct safety procedures had been followed, according to an investigation by USA Today. Number 2. America is absolutely teeming with sexual predators. And of course, I cover this a lot, the sexual predators. And unfortunately, I don't catch all of them. I wish I did, but I'm only one guy. If anyone care to join me on this channel, just for that purpose, please do. Holler at me. I'd gladly have a second, third, and even fourth person uploading videos to this channel. And my BitChute channel. We can't forget BitChute, because I'll tell you what, for the most part, my views on there are a lot more. I get a lot more views on BitChute, and even though I've had my channel there for a couple of months. It's only been this week that I started uploading to BitChute on a regular basis, like every day. Of course, for some reason, right now, BitChute is down, and I have not been able to upload there. Let's see if it's ready yet while I'm on the page here. No, not ready yet. Okay, so number 2, America is absolutely teeming with sexual predators. When I read stories like the one I'm about to share with you, it makes me want to vomit. According to a report that was just released, more than 300 predator priests were identified in just 6 Pennsylvania dioceses. That's only 6, okay? A landmark grand jury report identifies more than 300 predator priests in 6 of Pennsylvania's Roman Catholic dioceses, the state Supreme Court said Friday in ordering the findings released. The justices said the report on clergy child sex abuse going back decades and allegations of cover-up efforts will be made public, but without the names or individual specific information of priests and others who have challenged the findings, at least in the initial version to be released. Why? Those priests' names should be out there. They're victims, you know, they shouldn't be included, or their names shouldn't be included in the publicly released version, but the priests' names should absolutely be released. But I gotta wonder, are these priests going to end up going to prison? Call me skeptical. About as likely as the cop who shot that pretty 19-year-old girl I reported on here just this morning. Probably not going to get punished for it. I mean, certainly possible, but probable, no. Number 3, America has a massive problem with pedophilia. Well, wasn't that number 2? But anyway, and yes, we do. I mean, look at the Catholic Church, for God's sakes. But there's another church that should be looked at, and that is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, the Mormons. They are a big pack of child molesters. This is particularly true in Hollywood, and actor Elijah Wood has decided to go public about it. It's not especially true in Hollywood. If you look up sexual predators in your area, you will get a map full of people convicted of sex crimes. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they did it. I've covered this many times before, that a lot of times when you get charged with something, you end up having to plead guilty just to get out of jail. Okay? So just because a person gets convicted of something like this, I would say that there has to be an established pattern of behavior before you can be certain that somebody is a sexual predator. Of course, you don't want to go that far, do you? So the very second you catch one of these people, and you should catch them red-handed, and if you do, the very instant you catch them, they should be dealt with in the most violent, harsh way possible. So, Elijah Woods, the actor, in a new interview with the Sunday Times, is accusing Tinseltown of having a pedophilia problem, saying a lot of vipers are preying on children in the business. Clearly, something major was going on in Hollywood. It was all organized There are lots of vipers in this industry. People who only have their own interests in mind, he said. Sounds like Jews to me. There's a darkness in the underbelly. What burns me about these situations is that the victims can't speak as loudly as the people in power. That's the tragedy of attempting to reveal what is happening to innocent people. They can be squashed, but their lives have been irreparably damaged. Number 4. America is full of people that are looking to take advantage of others. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And yes, it is. It is full of people looking to take advantage of others. During the recent horrific wildfires in Northern California, authorities say that there was a lot of looting. With so many people locked out of huge areas of the city, looters have moved in to take advantage, officials said, adding that police patrols are being increased and that National Guard troops are being brought in to help. We're experiencing a lot of looting and are beefing up our security, Redding Police Chief Roger Moore told a crowd of about 250 residents Saturday afternoon, and Shasta County Sheriff Tom Bozenko received a round of applause when he announced the first arrest of a suspected looter. Let's not forget that it was the police and National Guard during Hurricane Katrina that was going around looting and stealing people's guns from them. Same thing in Texas during last year's hurricane. I forget the name of the hurricane, but you all know what I'm talking about. It turned into a giant state-ran robbery. Number 5. America has way too many politically correct control freaks that want to ruin all of our lives, and this too is correct. I mean, we have people out there getting fired from their jobs for their opinion. And it's the little faggy social justice lawyers that are to blame for this. Now, I'm not saying faggot as in homosexual. If you're a homosexual, that's your business, okay? I don't care. And most other people do not give a shit what you do in your bedroom. I don't care if you're gay. I don't even have a problem with you being gay. My problem is you trying, or maybe not you personally, but the community pushing for extra rights that nobody else has. I never dreamed that the day would come when plastic straws would be banned in the United States, but now it's actually happening. Only in California can you go to jail for offering restaurant patrons a straw. According to the ordinance, first-time offenders will be given a written warning. Oh, thank you, Big Daddy Government, for giving me a warning. Please don't. Second-time offenders will face steeper consequences. Based on the city's municipal code, penalties for straw peddling, that really said that, peddling, will include a fine not exceeding $1,000, imprisonment for the term not exceeding 6 months. 6 months. 6 fucking months for giving a straw. You know, there's some drinks that just don't work very well without a straw. You know, like slushies and iced coffees, you know, the ones that are whipped ice. Man, 6 months. The West Coast is home to many a plastic straw ban. The city of Seattle was the first city in the U.S. to ban plastic straws in early July, but in the Emerald City, a violation only warrants a $250 fine. It's still a fine for giving a patron a fucking straw. I mean, I can think of millions of ways to make the pollution and litter problem better than this. You know, there's a machine that turns plastic back into petroleum. Maybe if we build a bunch of those machines across the country and use them to reprocess plastic into petroleum, there would be a lot less of that shit on the ground. Because I'll tell you what, I cannot stand driving down the street sometimes and there's this fucking litter going all the way down. There's shit everywhere, plastic bags, diapers. But I digress. California is not to be outdone in their regressive, progressive politics. Number 6. I'm going to argue with this one a little bit. America is a nation full of addicts. Today, I came across a survey that found that nearly half of all Americans admit to shopping online. One addiction while drunk. Another addiction. Okay, maybe I'm not going to argue with this. If you've poured yourself a glass of wine or two and then started browsing Amazon, you're not alone. And you may well have spent more than you meant to. A new survey finds that Americans who shop online under the influence spend over $40 each time. Gin drinkers actually spend the most, about $82 on average, while whiskey drinkers are the cheapest buzzed burgers. Or, I said burgers, holy fuck. While whiskey drinkers are the cheapest buzzed buyers, according to addiction treatment facility in Archstone Recovery Center, or the Archstone Recovery Center. They polled over 1,000 people who reported purchasing an item off of Amazon while under the influence of alcohol. Here I thought he was going to get into the people dying from fentanyl/heroin overdoses. You know what I say. Fuck them. Let them die. Let them fucking die. Number 7. America is on the path to financial suicide. Of course, I covered this in a video this morning as well with the tariffs. But let's see what this asshole has to say. Although he's probably not much of an asshole. The federal government is already $21 trillion in debt. Well, no shit. And is being officially estimated that we will hit $30 trillion mark by 2028. No, we won't. We're going to hit it long before then. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. If Deagle.com is correct, there's only going to be 100 million of us here in the year 2025. So, maybe. Okay, number 8. Americans have an endless supply of cruel people. America seems to have an endless supply of cruel people. Down in Louisiana, authorities have arrested 5 people that locked an autistic woman that they were related to in a cage and forced her to eat her mother's ashes. A Louisiana woman living with autism was locked up in a cage, threatened and abused, and forced to eat her mother's ashes by 5 people who were indicted this week by a federal grand jury in New Orleans, officials said. The indictments accuse 5 family members of abusing their 22-year-old relative until June 2016, according to court documents released by the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana. Nice, right? Number 9. America's cities, or America's major cities, are rapidly being transformed into cesspools. Rapidly being transformed? What the fuck is he talking about? They've already been transformed. There's no rapidly about it. That's already done. What we're seeing now is just getting worse. But anyway, the following is an excerpt from a letter that was recently penned by Portland's police chief, as if his officers there aren't fucking criminals themselves. Our city has become a cesspool. Livability that once made Portland a unique and vibrant city is now replaced with human feces in businesses, doorways, and our parks and our streets. Aggressive panhandlers block the sidewalks, storefronts, and landmarks like Pioneer Square, discouraging people from enjoying our city. Garbage-filled RVs and vehicles are strewn throughout our neighborhoods. Used needles, drug paraphernalia, and trash are common sights lining the streets and sidewalks of the downtown core area under our bridges and freeway overpasses. That's not what our families, business owners, and tourists deserve. Yeah, well, these people don't deserve to get shot in their back, too, but that's not stopping your officers from coast to coast from murdering innocent people. Number 10. America is inhabited by way too many idiots. Again, I say, no shit. See, Michael Schneider, he wants to prevent, or try to prevent, shit hitting the fan. Not me. No. I want the shit to hit the fan. I want the bottom to fall out. I want these cities to descend into chaos. Because America is inhabited by way too many idiots. Maybe some of these idiots will, do something stupid and get themselves killed. But these days, just about anyone will do just about anything for 15 minutes of fame. And one of the worst examples of this was when Florida resident Bobby Stratton walked into a convenience store with a live alligator. The man, identified by WJAX as Robbie Stratton, is seen on video posted to Facebook walking into the store in Jacksonville with a gator's mouth taped shut. Stratton approaches the counter and asks the man behind it, "Y'all got beer still? Y'all ain't out, are y'all?" When he then sees someone in the back of the store and says, "Is he taking that last bit of beer? You aren't taking that last bit of beer, are you?" Stratton planned this stunt well in advance, and he made sure to have it recorded so that he could post it on Facebook. He goes on to say, "This is what America has become." Well, let's not forget. Let's not forget the criminal, lying politicians. Let's not forget the criminal members of Congress, each and every one of them. There may be a couple of exceptions in that whole gang there, but for the most part, they're all criminals. They all do what's in their best self-interest. And what about the police across this nation who deal drugs, you know, things like steroids to their fellow officers, and then go and buy pain pills off of a guy because he's disabled, and rack up a debt with him and murder him in cold blood because they don't want to pay the debt, and they call it a legitimate police action. What about that? What about all the dirty shit Republicans and Democrats alike have done to this country, to our rights, to all of it? Anyway, I thought I would share this one with you. I hope everyone has a great day. Remember, kill the state before the state kills you.